its effects and how to prevent this. First, we know what is acid rain. Acid rain is a broad term that includes any form of precipitation with acidic components such as sulfuric SO2 or nitric NO2 acid that fall to the ground from the atmosphere in wet or dry forms. In this can include rain, snow, fog, hail, or even dust that is acidic. In the picture, we can observe here. First one is the numbers are seen in the pictures 1, 2, 3, 4. First one is the here emission of SO2 and NO2 released into the air. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ SO2 and NO2 gases ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. And the second one, the pollutants are transferred into the acidic particles that may be transported long distance. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಅದು ಕ್ಲೌಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವರೆಗೂ ಅದು ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್, ದೀಸ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ದೆನ್ ಫಾಲ್ ಟು ದ ಅರ್ತ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡ್ರೈ ಡೆಪೋಸಿಷನ್. ಅದು ಆಸಿಡ್ ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ವೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರೈ ಅಥವಾ ವೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಗ್ರೌಂಡಿಗೆ ಫಾಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಸ್ಟ್, ರೈನ್, ಸ್ನೋ, ವೆಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ may causes harmful effects on soil, forests, streams, and lakes. Next, we seen in this what's the acid rain effects. Acid rain result when sulfuric dioxide SO2 and nitrogen oxide NO2 are emitted into the atmosphere and transported by wind and air currents. ಈ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ್ದಿಂದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಂಡ್ ಇಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏರ್ ಇಂದ ಏರ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ. ದ SO2 and NO2 ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್. SO2 and NO2 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಜೊತೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಸಲ್ಫ್ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನೈಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. These then mix with water and other materials before falling to the ground. ಇದು ಆಸಿಡ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಗೆ ಫಾಲ್ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಗೆ ಫಾಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Normally, clean rain has a pH value of between 5.0 and 5.5. ನಾವು ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ pH ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅದು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ 5.0 ಇಂದ 5.5 ತನಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, which is slightly acidic when rain combines with sulfur dioxide or nitrogen oxide produce form powerful plants and automobiles. The rain become much more acidic. Can you people tell what is the pH of acid rain? Anyone can know?
Is it 4 to 5?
4 to 5.5.
Below
Less than 5.6?
Okay, good. It's the pH of 4.0. When small proportion of SO2 and NO2 that cause acidic rain is from natural source such as volcanoes. Most of it comes from burning of fossil fuels. ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು fossil fuels ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಮೆನಿ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದರಿಂದನೂ ಕೂಡ ಆಸಿಡ್ ರೈನ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Fused major source of SO2 and NO2 in the atmosphere are burning of fossil fuels generate electricity. 2/3 of SO2 and 1/4 of NO2 in the atmosphere come from electric power generators. ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಹೆವಿ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಬರೋದ್ರಿಂದನೂ ಕೂಡ ಆಸಿಡ್ ರೈನ್ ಕಾಸಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಯಿಲ್, ರಿಫೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. Wind can blow SO2 and NO2 over long distance and across borders, making acid rain a problem for everyone and not just these who live to these sources. ಇದು ಆಸಿಡ್ ರೈನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಕ್ವಾಟಿಕಲಿ ಲೈವ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಫಿಶಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಹಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಸಿಡ್ ರೈನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹಾರ್ಮ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೈ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಲೀವ್ಸ್. ಅದು ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಮೇಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ನ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. These can make water toxic and carry fish, clam, fish and other aquatic animals. Its effects also harm. Can anyone tell what's the solution for prevent this acid rain? Anyone know?
Avoid pollution.
Yes. Then?
Afforestation.
Yes. Okay, good. We look out for another alternative source of power besides fossil fuels like wind and solar energy. conserve energy, cap emission. These are all the solutions for preventive acid rain. Limit the number of vehicles on roads and increase public transport. ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ನ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಈಗ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ we can use a public transport. And then any when say another solution for acid rain. Okay, anyone can say?
Using CNGs in vehicles.
Yes. Okay, now I shall complete my seminar. Anyone have doubts, please ask me.
It was really great, Aishwarya. So you did a very good job. I appreciate that. Okay, so any of you have any questions to ask her or anything you can add up to this concept? You can just speak up. So adding to Aishwarya's acid rain concept, you might have got to know that this big monuments, whatever he may have, such kind of monuments, best example is Taj Mahal. I guess you people know about, right? So you can see that disfiguring of Taj Mahal, we say, ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ Taj Mahal ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ slight ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಆ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ರೀಸನ್ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ?
Acid rain.
Acid rain.
ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ತಾಜ್ ಮಹಲ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾರ್ಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಮಾರ್ಬಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ರೈನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಾರ್ಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸಚ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾನ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಕರೋಡೆಡ್ and getting disfigured because of the acid rain. So some of the effects we can add up to this concept.
Anna?
Yes?
Anna, even I have taken the same topic.
No problem.
Okay, Anna.
No problem. We can do it. Okay, so you people have any questions related to this, you can ask her, or else we'll ask Visha to carry over the next one.
No, I had doubt.
Yeah, good.
How can we identify the acid rain? Means, is there any?
Saishwarya will answer that.
Identify in the clouds, we can see snow falling or what are the things I will say, snow falling or the dust we can see in the acid particles.
Yes, great.
And the rain come in the
Was that clear?
Now, will there be any color changes?
Come again?
Will there be color changes?
I don't think there will be a color change you can observe in the case of acid rain. So it's going to be a kind of normal race only, normal rain only, because whatever the acids which they produce, because of like for example H2SO4 can be or HN only. So those acids are going to be slightly colorless. So because of that, you will not observe any color. But how we can observe or how we can come to a conclusion that water is an acidic in the sense. So there is the only way you can identify is by measuring the hydrogen ion concentration there. So we need to take a sample of rainwater, and from that you need to measure the hydrogen ion concentration. So if the hydrogen ion concentration are produced more, then that is going to be acidic. And even you can do this pH test. Okay, so using pH paper, we can also do that, and we can predict what the pH of that, and based on that pH, we can tell what sort of rain is this. I mean, how much pH is there? Is this going to be a rain, acid rain, or like that kind of thing? You can.
Okay.
Okay. So, any more other questions? Okay. So that's fine. So I would like to thank Aishwarya for beautiful work. So thank you, Aishwarya. And I'll next we can make the host to Diksha. Aishwarya can change the host to Diksha.
Explain you all about acid rain. When we hear the word acid rain, we'll think that the raindrops is completely filled with acid, but it is not true. The actual meaning of the acid rain is that the acid rain is the rain that is more acidic than the normal. As Aishwarya said, the acid rain is slightly have the pH value lesser than the normal rain. The pH of the normal rain lies between 5.0 to 5.5, but the pH value of the acid rain lies between 4.0 to 4.5. By listening this, you can think that compared to normal rain, the acid rain is much lesser pH value, but I can say that it is not so acidic. And the major components of this acid rain is the sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides. As I said, though the raindrops does not contain the complete acids in it, but the impact of the acid rain on the environment is very large. Acid rain spread and damage involves the weather, chemistry, soil, and the life cycles of plants and animals on the land. And acid rains also causes the water bodies more acidic. Now we can learn about the types of acid rains. There are two types of acid rains, which namely called wet deposition and dry deposition. Wet deposition refers to acid rain, fog, and snow. As this acidic water flows over and through the ground, it affects a variety of plants and animals. And when we come to dry deposition refers to acidic gases and particles. About
Diksha, your slide is not visible.
Is it not visible?
No.
In the atmosphere falls back to the earth through the dry deposition. By reading this, we can say that the contribution of dry deposition in acid rain is much larger than the wet deposition, because the acid rain, the snowfall, occurs only for some time in a year, but the acidic gases are released to environment every day through power plants, factories, and vehicles. So these gases plays a major role in acidic rain. And the major contribution of acid rain lies with dry deposition compared to wet deposition. And the major causes of acid rain are the burning of coal, oil, and natural gases. It gives or it emits sulfur dioxide to the environment. And burning of petrol and oil in vehicle engines gives off nitrogen oxides as gases. These two acid gases called nitrogen oxides and sulfuric oxides plays a major role in the acid rain. You can imagine now how much nitrogen oxides is emitted in a day across the world. I think most of the people in the world own one or other vehicles. So much acid gases is emitted in a day. So we must be ready to face these consequences in the future. Till now, we learned how gases are emitted to the environment. Now we will learn how these gases or acids converts into the rain. When these gases called sulfuric dioxide and nitrogen dioxide emits into the environment, these gases mix with the water vapor and rainwater in the atmosphere, and this produces weak solution of sulfuric and nitric acids. You can observe here when by the vehicles, the sulfuric dioxide and nitrogen dioxide is emitted, but when these gases combine or mix with water vapor, it becomes sulfuric acid and nitric acid, which falls as acid rain to the environment. As I said before, not only the humans are responsible for emission of these sulfuric acid and nitrogen oxide, the natural resources such as erupting volcanoes and lightning also produces sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, which cause to the formation of acid rain also. You can see in this picture that car is releasing nitrogen oxide, and power plants and factories are emitting sulfur dioxide, in which the when they reaches the cloud and condense itself, it turns into nitric acids and sulfuric acids and come back to the environment in the form of rain. You can see in this picture. And now we can learn how the acid rain affects on non-living, living and soil. As Anna said, the Taj Mahal in Agra is suffering from sulfur dioxide and sulfuric acid and the other fumes pollutants released from Mathura refinery. You can see that Taj Mahal color has been changed due to the acid rain. Acid rain reacted with the marble, means calcium carbonate of Taj Mahal. This caused damage to the wonderful structure. You can see the difference, how it was and how it is. Are you following?
Yes, Diksha.
Yes, Diksha.
You can see in this picture also, acid rain causes extensive damage to the buildings, statues, bridges and structural materials of marble and limestone. Acid rain does not affect only on non-living, it also affects on living also, on human health. The sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide causes respiratory diseases like asthma, chronic diseases, etc. Tiny particles present in these gases causes difficulty in breathing for humans and animals and also lead to permanent lung damage. And when these acid reaches the water bodies, the acidity of the water or the lakes or any water bodies decreases, and this affects the aquatic ecosystem, whatever it is. It may be fish or the other animals present in the aquatic ecosystem. It may lead to death of the so many animals present in the water bodies also. And acid rain dissolves all the nutrients and useful minerals for the tree to grow. As Aishwarya said, when this acid falls on the tree or it reaches the soil, it dissolves all the important and useful minerals that needed for tree to grow. It dissolves everything, and the tree growth of the tree or the plant could be decreased. And it also weakens the process of photosynthesis, and acid activate aluminum from the soil, which leaches into water and fish die. As I said before, it may decrease the pH value of the water bodies and cause the death of aquatic animals. The solution of the acid rains are, we can fit scrubbers into factories' chimneys. I think you all know what chimneys are. The pipe where the gases emit to the environment. When we fit the scrubbers on the chimneys, it may remove the impurities from the gases or from the smoke, like sulfur, nitrogen dioxide, like that. And cars can be fitted with special converters which remove dangerous chemicals. As I said, even the vehicles are emitting the dangerous gases to the environment. If we can fit any special converters which may remove the dangerous chemicals, and government need to spend more money on pollution control, which reduces the amount of these dangerous gases in the environment. By saying this, I will conclude my seminar. Thank you, everyone.
So thank you, Disha. So again, that was beautifully presented. So again, I was very much happy with the presentation of your PPT, and I feel that even many of us are going to take the same topic. One or the other way, we are going to give some other, at least one point as an extra input. So that's why I say that even though if you take the same topic, there's not a problem. But I need to give some new points to that. We need to add some extra points to that. So you can see the differences now. So I really appreciate Aishwarya and Diksha MD for their beautiful work. And I expect these kind of works to come from all other peoples. Okay. So before I move on to Afia, I'll just will have some questions. If anyone have questions, you can ask Disha. Any doubts if you people have, or if you know any more things than this, you can add to the class so that we all will learn that. Okay. So there is one person who's called as the father of acid rain. Anyone know that? So he was the first person who invented this acid rain, or who discovered this, or we even can call it as who coined this term as acid rain. So he is Robert Angus Smith. So Robert Angus Smith idana. So he is known as father of acid rain anta karitತಾರೆ. So first ಅವನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಕಾಟ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ he was able to recognize that when he went to with some sample of rainwater, at that time he was able to find out that pH was less than 5, and he came to a conclusion that these rainwater which is having a less than 5 pH has some acidic character. So then he coined the term as acid rain. It was happened in the year 1852. So it's a long back. And even in some of the countries like Europe and Canada, some places like China and Taiwan, even in China and Taiwan also, the peoples have experienced this acid rains to a maximum extent. So these are as per the recent studies. Okay, so do people have any other doubts related to acid rain concept? Okay. So who other wants to do the seminar now? Afia wants to do? Or Afia wants to add anything? You want to do? Okay. So Diksha, you can make Afia as a host now.
And myself, today's topic that I have selected is acid bases and salts. So here I have a video for that, where acid bases and salts are classified and explained. So in between, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. What's the thought? How much it is mixed with? Like if it is so strong acid, we can't taste it. It will be harmful for the body.
How acids are, or burn the skin when they come in contact with it. That's how acids are. The term acid comes from the Latin word acidus, which means sour. Yes, so are all acids sour to taste? Yes, they are. The intensity of sourness may vary in different acids, but the overall taste of acids is always sour. The best examples of substances that contain acids include citrus fruits like orange, lemon, lime, and grapes. Now let's talk about the soap water. What nature
Is soap water acid or a base?
Base.
does it have? It is basic in nature, which means soap is a base, or in other words, an alkali. What do we mean by this?
Can anyone say what is an alkali?
The base that is dissolved in water is called as alkali.
Yes. Thank you.
For now, all we need to know is that the mild bitter tasting compound is called a base. Bases, when added to water, give foam and feel soapy when touched. Bases are exactly opposite to acids. The best examples of bases include baking soda, washing soda, quicklime, and many more. This was about acids and bases in general.
Did you understand what are acids and bases?
Yes.
Yes.
So can anyone say what is a salt? Can anyone say what is a salt?
The reaction between acid and base, and the product will be salt and water.
Salt is like not a reaction, it is just the product of an acid and base.
Now, can you tell me what will happen if an acid and an alkali, as in a base, come together? Will the solution explode? Will it give an unexpected reaction or something else? Well, it is something that
Will it explode? I'll repeat the question. If an acid and base is mixed, will it explode?
No, it neutralizes.
Yes.
we already know. Imagine we mix a strong acid like hydrochloric acid with a strong base like sodium hydroxide. What will be the result then? The reaction yields sodium chloride and water. Sodium chloride is the common salt used by us. So, an acid with a base gives us salt and water. This is a generalized reaction. Salts are the products of reaction between an acid and a base. But now tell me one thing. How do we understand whether a compound is acidic or basic? Can we taste it every time?
So can anyone say how do we test whether the salt is acidic or basic?
By using litmus paper.
Any other?
by pH level.
pH value.
And we can also use natural indicators.
If we are given a solution of concentrated sulfuric acid, how are we supposed to know its nature? It's not possible to bear even a drop of it on your skin. So tasting the solution is just out of the question. So now, how do we say that this is an acidic solution? There has to be a way to figure it out. The solution has to undergo a few tests. The substance used to check whether the compound is acidic or basic is called an indicator. The indicators indicate by changing their colors. Indicators, when added with acids or bases, show a change in color. That is how it becomes convenient for us to find out whether the compound is acidic or basic. But what kind of substances are used as indicators? Next, we will look at the various indicators.
That was all about acids, bases, and salts. Do you have any doubts?
No.
Okay. Anna done.
Okay, so it was great and good idea. So we were able to explain the things with the video. So and appreciate that as well and it was a good presentation. And any of you people have any doubts related to acid, base, and salts? So it is a concept which you already have learned in your